This is my favorite potting soil and what we will be using for all the plants in the greenhouse. It's made of sphagnum moss or peat moss and perlite, volcanic glass. The dried sphagnum moss is used in potting soils because it holds and releases moisture as needed by the plant. It also holds nutrients so they don't wash away when watering the plant. Perlite was actually volcanic glass, is heated and expanded almost like popcorn, and this is a white basic round substance, and it's commonly used in potting mixtures because it lightens the soil and allows more air to the roots, which helps to retain water and ultimately improve drainage. It's sterile, which means it's free of any substances or organisms that can harm the plant. So now we're going to go to the potting table and I'm going to show you how I pot up the trays. All right, here at the potting table, which I know you love, we are going to be putting the potting soil into our 6-pack trays. There are 36 cells to each tray, 6 packs to each flat. So what we're going to be doing, and when we put the potting soil in, we want to make sure that we fill each of these cells. Now what I do is, just the first time, just cover everything up, make sure lightly pack the soil in. Do not bone crush it in so it doesn't allow any water or anything to penetrate air. This, you want to make sure it's firm but not really tight, because that will be very difficult for the seedlings to root if the soil is too compacted. So I lightly finish off the top, making sure all the cells are filled, double checking, and then we take our little 2x4 here and trim down the top. And that is a tray ready for planting. All right, today, if you were in class, we would be thinning the big boy tomatoes. All right, so what is thinning? When the seedlings first come up, the first 2 leaves that you see are called seed leaves. All right, now they're at a young stage here, and what we want to make sure is that there is only 1 seed coming up per cell. This will give a stronger plant when we're ready to transplant. So we have to go through these and look and see if there is any plant that has 2 coming up. Now this cell here has 2 plants coming up. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to thin this out and just leave the strongest. Usually you take the weakest one, all right, and that's just smart. Going through each of these takes a little while, all right, but now as these begin to grow, here's another one. Here's another one that has the second plant coming up.
Wait, I can't see.
Right here.
Oh, I see it, yeah.
So we're going to take that out and then let these grow. All right, you did a pretty good job seeding them. So we would be doing this, thinning the big boy tomatoes. Next, we would be planting the marigolds. This is a safari mix, all right, this one. Now, this is a different stage, which you guys can see, all right? Not only do you have the seed leaves, now we have the true leaves. Now, these true leaves look a little different because they're serrated, a little like a jagged edge type of thing, where the seed leaves are pretty much smooth and round. So, I take the dibble, and this dibble is actually called a dibble, to make the holes in the trays, and we've used that in class. So, in the potting soil that we talked about earlier, and you would be doing this multiple times. Now, my kids are doing this multiple times since they're not here. Anyway, so the marigolds, we'd be popping them out. Now, we want to make sure when we take them out, you always carry them or hold them from the bottom. I don't want to crush the stem or the leaves. I will tuck them in, nice, and they will begin to grow. And marigolds will grow pretty rapidly. So, again, you can do it from the top. Again, holding on, the root systems are pretty good. And we tuck them in. I'm not really touching the stem so we don't break the stem. So these are the marigold safari mix. We would be transplanting these. The other plant that we will be transplanting today is the cosmos. Now this is cosmic mix. Now the cosmos look very similar to the marigolds. They're a little taller, a little bigger, and they're going to be a bigger plant. But you can tell that the seed leaves, all right, again, round on this plant, but they have the true leaves now, which are serrated, a little bit different. They look very similar to the marigold. In fact, transplanting them, you could be fooled, all right? Like I said, my 2 sons were transplanting earlier, and it was a little hard to tell, but they do look very similar, all right? So, again, same thing. We're going to take our dibble and make our holes in our potting soil. Nice.
Do you know why it's called a dibble?
I don't know why it's called a dibble, but it's a
Extra credit
it's
if
a
you
funny
find
name,
out
but
why it's
yeah.
called a dibble.
Yeah, I know. Again, we're going to pop out now. When you look at these, you can really see they have a really nice root system. Again, I'm not touching the stem. I do not want to crush the stem, and I do not want to hurt the plant. These are babies. You don't pick a baby up by its head. You pick a baby up by its bottom. So, you guys know in class, that's what I always keep preaching. Pick it up by the bottom. And that's what we're doing. So, taking it in, pack it in nice. All right. And this is the Cosmos. So, we've got Cosmos, Marigold, and Thinning. Okay. So, this is remote learning and taking care of the greenhouse. And I will see you tomorrow. All right. Casella out.